Flashback, Episode 26, Compromised Caretakers and the Manhattan Mafia. Everyone was still in the breakfast kitchen area of our safe house. We were making a plan to infiltrate Soros's fortress in upstate New York, in a little town known as Lilydale. We had no idea how we might breach the fortress given its defenses. It had automated flying drones, robot dog hellhounds, and biped sentries with guns, human snipers on rooftops and battlements, and cameras everywhere. Never mind not knowing how we might get through its perimeter wall, much less how to get inside the fortress building itself. I said aloud sarcastically to the group, "Do we know a doorman that we can bribe to let us into Soros's upstate New York fortress?" Bob snarked, Don't we wish there was a doorman to bribe," as his voice trailed off. The safe house caretaker couple's husband entered the room. The caretakers were allegedly supposed to stay clear of us, to protect their anonymity, and to not know the information that we were doing so that they would not be compromised or tortured for that very information. Well, that seemed extreme. That's how the informants and spy networks were operated, I guess. Anyway, the stay away from us caretaker was not staying away from us. He walked right up to me as we were finishing our debriefing at breakfast. The caretaker man said directly to me, "You're Rick, right?" He did not wait for me to answer, as he clearly knew my Knights Templar name. He continued, "You broke into Soros's penthouse, and you destroyed his panic room door, right?" Still not waiting for a reply, he continued, "You killed 2 policemen, right? At the Manhattan subway entrance, near Soros's penthouse, right?" I asked, "How do you know what happened? How could you know? How does your spy network know so much?" Sarah's eyes pierced the caretaker man's eyes directly herself. She declared, "Our spy network could not have known these things." She looked to the man and she declared, "You are compromised for the Knights Templar Illuminati." The caretaker man, looking afraid of Sarah, answered, "I am not compromised for the Knights Templar Illuminati. I swear it." He looked so terrified for his very life. He continued his answer, I do also work for the Five as part of their spy network." He defensively almost whimpered. Sarah retorted angrily at the man, "It is not allowed to engage with any other group or party without express approval from the Knights Templar directly." She said, "I know that the Knights Templar did not approve of you working with or for the Five." Bob looked confused, out of the loop, ignorant. He asked, "Who or what is the Five?" Sarah answered Bob and detailed the Five. She explained, the Five is simply the Mafia. They are the 5 families of the founding New York Mafia. Hence, they are simply known as the Five. Sarah furthered, the Five has never been stopped by law enforcement, though their leaders change. But the 5 families remain at the top of the Mafia pyramid as the original Mafia founding families. The Five was formed to resolve disputes between Mafia families. Well, that was a lot of information to learn from Sarah. And so she continued to give us more information. She explained, the American Mafia, however, grew much bigger over time than the original New York Mafia, than the Five. She concluded, much like New York formed the Five to resolve disputes, a countrywide American Mafia super syndicate was formed to resolve mafia disputes across the country. It was called the Commission. Sarah joked sarcastically. Funny thing is, though each member of the Mafia has a boss at the seat on the Commission, there really is only just one single super boss that decides everything across the country. Sarah concluded, therefore, the Commission is effectively ruled by one super boss, not a commission of people. And the identity of this Mafia super boss is unknown, at least unknown to the Knights Templar. Bob grumbled and moaned, wait, so now we will be dealing with the Mafia, the mob, like the Godfather and Guido Mafia? Like finding bloody horse heads in beds, that Mafia? Bob continued and exclaimed, is there nowhere and no person that our fight against the devil won't take us? Taylor answered Bob, all missions, they take unexpected turns, just like life. We cannot predict what will come, but we can plan and course correct as we learn new information. Katie looked worried. When I think of the Mafia, I think of cement overshoes. You know, callous killing and extortion and crooked dealings. When I think of the mob, Katie said, I think of hitmen and, being silenced or being put on ice permanently. Katie asked sheepishly, are we saying that we will be dealing with the Mafia too now? But that we can and will course correct as we go? The caretaker man said gravely, the mob boss of Manhattan, Liborio Barney Billamo, of the Genovese crime family, overseeing both Manhattan and the Bronx, he's not happy. He explained, you killed 2 of his foot soldiers. Those policemen that you killed, they were actually Mafia foot soldiers under Barney. Sarah glared at the caretaker man. How can we ever trust you? You have deceived us. Katie declared, I am the truth bearer. I will know if we are being deceived. She added, so far, he has not lied or deceived us. He has been totally honest. Sarah looked dubiously at the caretaker man. So, tell us then, are you 100% loyal and dedicated to the Knights Templar Illuminati? And are you 100% loyal to our mission and our quests? Are you 100% transparent and honest and open with me and the Knights Templar Illuminati? Sarah paused, awaiting a response from the caretaker man. He looked nervous. He looked at Katie and at Sarah, and then he looked at me and across the group. He looked guilty. Tiny beads of sweat formed on his forehead. He answered, of course, I am 100% loyal to the Templar, and to you, and to Rick. Katie shook her head sadly. He's lying. He's lying to us. The caretaker man jumped, and he fled, running as fast as his old legs could carry him towards a garage door that led to a car. I could only think, oh no, not another event caused by someone thinking that they could outwit, escape, or overpower the powerhouse duo of either Sarah or Taylor. Sarah leapt and she sped towards him and she jumped on him. She kicked the rear of his knees, making him collapse onto the ground. With Sarah jumping on top of him, she rolled him over and bound his hands and ankles together with zip ties. Yes, Sarah seemed to always have zip ties on hand. It was, I guess, one of her things, apparently. Taylor declared, "Okay, change of plan. First, find and determine if the caretaker's wife is also compromised. Second, we devise a plan to deal with the Mafia. Third, we devise a plan to get into Soros' upstate Lilydale fortress." Without asking, everyone just said, "Hoo-ah!" We decided we should visit the Manhattan Mafia boss, Barney.